Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. If it's been 3.5 hours since you last ate protein and now you're starting to freak out, you are old school. If watching someone sit on a hammer machine for 5 minutes between sets playing with their phone pisses you off, you are definitely old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest just earned his Olympia qualification. He's the first Irish IFBB pro ever to win a pro show. I didn't know this. The man I'm talking about is Darren Farrell. Welcome back, or welcome to the show, I should say. It's the first time.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you having me on. It's a little bit surreal for me. I watch this pretty much every morning when I do cardio. So,
you know, our good mutual friend, had hit me up, and he's like, my friend, he's going to win the show. He's going to win and he's going to qualify for the Olympia. I said, then let's get him on. I said, and you did, you delivered. Now you had a pretty, rough, I guess you could say, time actually getting to the pro ranks. You seem to be way more successful now that you've gotten here. And we're going to talk about your story in a minute, but tell us a little bit about your upbringing, because you are Irish. You live in Dubai now, but you are Irish, nationality-wise.
Yeah, so my upbringing was very good. My parents were amazing. They were both professional athletes, so I played sport all my life.
Oh, wow.
It was in my blood. So I played like rugby professionally, hockey, everything. It's like sport was everything to me. And I kind of fell into bodybuilding after a bad injury playing sport. And I just went from there. I loved it. But like in Ireland, like when I started doing it, it was like turning pro or being a pro bodybuilder wasn't even like something you said or thought about, because nobody, like I remember saying it once to an older bodybuilder, and he was like, "Don't be stupid. No Irish person becomes a pro bodybuilder."
Why do you think that is, though? Because there's a lot of good British guys,
I think back, like it's just the opportunity wasn't there. Maybe sort of 8-9 years ago, there wasn't in Ireland. There wasn't a show you could turn pro from.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
The guys who did it. There's a current Irish classic physique pro who he turned pro in like some European bodybuilding show.
Gotcha.
Like by winning the under 75s or something like that. Many years ago. That was kind of the only way you could do it, and that was really unheard of.
Right. And we know you Irish guys and women are the best looking people in the world, all right? So, I mean, you're perfect for the physique sport, and yet, there was really no, great Irish bodybuilders. But, so you turned pro at the New Zealand qualifier. What year was that?
Yeah.
2019, I think?
Yeah, I won the overall in New Zealand in 2019, having previously done it the year before. I actually traveled there with someone who knows, Samir Trudy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I traveled, he did the pro show there, and I traveled there with him and did it. And I think I placed like dead last.
The first time, and then you went back and you won. What?
Then
changed?
a year,
Exactly
changed? 1 year later, I went back and won the overall.
Unbelievable. What was the difference between the 2 years?
I think it comes down to, I'll have to give a bit of a background here. So I suffered very badly with depression to the point where I attempted suicide. I was in a very bad place. And that first year that I went out there was me kind of trying to just avoid everything, and I was using bodybuilding to hide from everything. And
right.
It kind of hit it got really bad for me. And after that show, I came back, and I just by luck, another 212 pro, Jamie DeRigo, who's a very good coach, had just moved to Dubai, and we became friendly, and I started working with him, and he just changed my mentality about why I was doing it and things like that. And we worked together for a year, and like we went out there. Nobody ever thought I'd turn pro, because I was nothing. And he transformed my physique, went out there and won the overall, and I was still nothing special. I look back at the pictures and I'm like, wow. When I turned pro, I was 190 90 pounds maybe. And now I compete at 222.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a huge
So
difference.
we've grown quite considerably in the time with.
I was going to say, because I'm looking at the pictures from the pro win, I'm like, you're really good. You know, you got a great classic physique. I mean, you got all the bells and whistles. But obviously, if you were 30 pounds lighter, you wouldn't have all those bells and whistles.
No, definitely not.
Is that? Oh, you put up a before and picture. You got a before and after picture. That's crazy. Wow, what a difference. But you could see the potential there in that physique when you turn pro. You definitely had the structure of a classic guy.
I don't think many others saw that potential. But.
Well, you got your pro card, really. I mean, you had the structure.
Yeah.
It just you didn't have enough mass, obviously, at that point to compete with the
No,
pros.
definitely not.
Now, this, I think it's important that we don't glance over this, but you do suffer from depression. You had a couple episodes. This one episode. Right after you competed, what precipitated the sudden, really bad depression where you want to actually no longer live? Because a lot of people sometimes can't understand that mentality because they don't feel that way. But maybe you can kind of like give us some insight into what was going on in your life at the time.
I'll have to go back a little bit to kind of give. When I was 19, I was the victim of an assault and a sexual attack back in Ireland. Mm-hmm. And I never told anyone about it. Nobody. I kept it in and had this kind of on my shoulders the whole time.
Oh, wow.
And I guess being around Ireland, being around family, everything like that, and life, I managed to kind of just get on with things.
Right.
When I got married and me and my wife, we moved to Dubai, it was just the two of us. And money was tight, things like this, and just pressures. And I think everything then just got on top of me. Mm-hmm. And it just led to me just not wanting to live. So I then, after I did attempt suicide, the next day I told her, and I began getting help then to kind of deal with it.
What did you do to try to kill yourself?
I took 300 IU of insulin and went to sleep.
Oh my God. And you woke up, obviously.
Luckily, my wife found me and had the kind of nous to call someone who was very close to us, and they came round and literally just fed me Vitargo all night.
Oh my God, thank God!
Yeah.
Thank God there were people around you. So obviously, there was someone sitting on your shoulder, a little angel there.
Yeah, definitely, very lucky.
Yeah. So you recover from that. Now, did you go and get? Did you take any medication, antidepressants, or anything like that?
So I had been on medication because I'd been diagnosed with having depression a couple of months before I got married in the UK. Mm-hmm. So I had been on medication. Living in Dubai, it's very difficult because it's not something they agree with. So I went private and saw a doctor for a while and talked through things. And to be honest, I didn't find it all that helpful. I'm not someone who likes to talk things out. I think one of the main reasons I got better was kind of having someone like Jamie around me who was just like, his attitude towards things is like, bad shit happens to everyone. You just need to get on with it, and I kind of adopted that mentality, and eventually I kind of got over my kind of things where like I had these problems where I kind of always felt like I was being judged by people. Everyone was watching. I got over caring so much about what everyone thought about me. Yeah. And from there, I just went from strength to strength. Obviously there's always times where it becomes, you have periods where you are a bit low and things like that. But thankfully now I've been very good. So.
Well, it's important also to differentiate between what some people have and what you had. Yours was an incident-induced, issue.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You don't have a chemical imbalance in your brain. You have depression from something you were holding in for years.
Something I was carrying around and feeling guilty about and embarrassed about for a long time. And that just changes the way you think and changes the way you act around groups and social circumstances.
Sure. And that's important to differentiate because there are people who legitimately have chemical imbalances and they do very well on antidepressants because they actually need them. you know,
Yeah.
as opposed to you just needed really, it seems like you needed some therapy just to talk out, you know, what you were holding in.
Just to understand the whole situation and be able to just move on and put it in my past.
If anything, antidepressants could have made your situation worse because you might not have dealt with it if you would have just taken the meds, you know, right?
Yeah, and luckily I've been off all medication now for over 2 years. So
I'm glad you got past that. Look, you know, your coach is so right. Jamie's so right, because you know what? Bad shit happens to everyone out there. And, you know, we all think that we're the only ones going through this and the only people feeling that. And it's good when you can talk to other people about it, because then they can say, hey, you know what happened to me? Or you know what happened to me? And then before you know it, this is true, sir. I'm in the gym the other day, and this guy and I, you know, I see him every day. You know, he kind of knows who I am. And we talking about them. I'm like, yeah, we're on the same. We're like synced up on the same schedule. He goes, yeah, we both limp too. And I'm like, because I've had it. My ankle's been bothering me lately, and I've been limping around like I'm 90 years old. And so I said, holy shit, I'm limping like this guy. And I'm like, you know, what happened to your leg? The guy got like hit by a train, and then he had it when he was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and then he had a stroke like 2 years ago. And I'm worried about my fucking ankle that's hurting me, you know, because for whatever reason, I don't know, if they want to fuse some bones, I don't know. It's not like it just started happening like a couple months ago, but I'm saying to myself, what am I, nuts? I'm getting depressed over an ankle that's hurting me? This guy had a stroke and got hit by a fucking train. I said, and this guy's going to the gym every day and he's in chronic pain. I said, I mean, you have to sometimes look at things from an absurd standpoint and say, what am I doing, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you're healthy, you got a family, you're doing well, and the thing you love to do most, and you're going to the Olympia. What could be better than that, right? You're going to the Olympia.
No, absolutely nothing. It's dreams come true.
Right.
I think for me, the biggest thing at the moment now is to put that out there, that no matter how bad life gets, like in the space, like look how much things have turned around for me. So
yeah, no, I'm very happy. Number one, for the win. That you were able to talk about the situation that happened to you, and that you're putting it out there that there's nothing wrong with being depressed. Talk to someone. Don't do something stupid that you're going to regret and that you're going to make your family pay for because you couldn't, you know, you felt like you couldn't talk to someone. Yeah. What's next for Darren Farrell now? Do you obviously you qualify for next year's Olympia? Are you going to take the year off? Or are you going to compete during the year? You seem like you have enough size to be able to compete with anyone out there right now.
Well, first now, today I'm actually traveling back to Dubai. Yeah. So I get to see my wife, see Jamie, my coach, and I actually only have 2 days there before I fly out to Florida because I've got clients competing in the Olympia.
Are you competing in this year's Olympia?
I have clients competing.
Oh, clients. Okay, because I know you qualify for next year. Okay.
Yeah,
so what do you got? Who's your clients? Share it.
So I have RXMuscle in fitness.
Okay.
Very, very top level fitness athlete. She'll be definitely one to watch there.
Cool.
I have another girl who's come to me from another coach recently who I don't want to say anything about yet because it's kind of hush hush still.
Gotcha.
And then my wife is actually going to be doing the amateur Olympia there as well.
Good. So that'll be a fun week, and you get to eat whatever you want. So that's great.
Yeah. I'll be relaxed. I'm taking a few days off now.
Right. What's the quarantine thing schedule from Dubai? You can actually fly right here, right? There's no quarantine.
Yeah, Dubai is no problem at all.
Right.
So I'll take a few days off, relax a little bit. I'll get back and then I'll sit down probably tomorrow with Jamie and discuss kind of off-season plans. I have like 6-7 more pounds I can play with in my weight cap.
Now. You're in Texas right now, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to just stay here and have them?
It would have. It really would have.
That's a long freaking flight.
Well, because actually, so Alex, my client, fitness client, she's only 21 and she's from Scotland. So she's actually been living in my house in Dubai for the last 2 weeks. So I want to go back, make sure that and bring them both out and dump off all my clothes.
I was going to say you go way. I would never have flown all the way back. You're a way better guy than I am.
It's okay. I'll sleep the whole way back anyway. Yeah. I'll be fine. Yeah. So I've got that, and then I'll get into off season and December, I'll be traveling back to Ireland for muscle contest because I'm actually one of the main sponsors of the muscle contest show.
Oh, really? What is your company?
My coaching brand, Darren Farrell Coaching.
Oh, you're just sponsoring the show through your coaching services. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm the gold sponsor of the show. So
very nice.
It's gonna be quite an honor for me. I'll be presenting the pro cards for Classic Physique and things like that there. So
very
hopefully
cool.
I might get to see the next Irish Olympian.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be great. So, and then next year obviously will be the Olympia. But do you plan to maybe do the Arnold or try to get into anything like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I'll put an application in for the Arnold's.
I would if I were you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a massive bodybuilding fan. I love this, and I my life revolves around it. I live it daily, you know. So the opportunity to do the Arnold's would be amazing. You know, this year has been really smooth with prep for me. Anyone who's been around me, I've been relaxed, chilled, energetic. You know, this week, even the last 2 weeks competing, I've had clients competing in pro qualifiers, pro shows, and I've been managing all them. Actually, the same day as me, had a girl turn pro in Italy, and then
that's awesome.
placed fourth in the pro show there that night.
Got to pay the bills, man, too. You know, so that's
good. So I've been really good with it. So I'm not someone who thinks that I need to rest all year to be my best for the Olympia. I actually feel the more I do, the better I'll be. So
yeah, it's good to keep yourself busy. You know, that's what I say too. Well, congratulations, number one, on the pro win. Congratulations on the Olympia qualification. Congratulations on your clients, and congratulations on also being able to, you know, talk about your issue and hopefully enlighten the world and you know, let people know that it's okay to talk about sensitive topics. And reach out to people when you need help.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be seeing more of Darren Farrell for sure. For now, though, we are out of time. Until next time, I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next